And I think we're live. Hello and welcome to tonight's stream. Tonight's stream, we are going to continue on the thing we were doing last stream. So if you didn't watch that one, then maybe you have some catching up to do. Welcome everyone. If you are watching, just let me know. I can see Schultz is already here. Hi Schultz, I hope you're having the most amazing evening, and as well to everyone else. If you're watching, it's just nice to know who's watching. Just give a hey. You don't have to take part in the conversation, but whatever. Tonight's stream, we are gonna continue on. Blah, 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 blah. Where's my button? Is this the button? There we go. We're gonna continue on this mech thing. But I've been doing a little bit of cheating. So this is what we got from last time, right? We were sculpting everything. We kind of carved in some things, and I said that the next stream, so this stream, we were gonna continue on this. What the hell is this? Whoops, it's bag there. I said that we're going to continue on this mech, and that is true indeed. But I already kind of did a little bit of the mech stuff, a little bit too early. So hello Andy man, welcome to the stream. I already started a little bit early, so basically, boop and boop. Yeah, I kind of retooled the whole thing over the past week, and it's rigged and animated. So yeah, so what are we actually going to do? We're doing this stream. Well, I got a lot of stuff planned for this stream as well. We're going to continue on putting in some details. We're going to talk a little bit about like details for scale, and we're going to be putting this mech into an actual environment that we're also going to be building. But everything's centered around this mech here, so that's going to be hopefully fun. Yeah, but this has it can move, it can do some stuff. I worked on some things where essentially this shoulder stuff here moves, and it looks kind of awesome because it kind of has all this like it reacts a little bit to these movements. It all gives a sense that like the mechanics are all working, even though it's all a little bit of bullshit. So technically some of these things, they're a little bit, I'm just cheating, I didn't do like perfectly nice different segmented rotations and stuff. If you've tried to do any kind of mechanical joints before, then essentially you want to break those things up. But done lots of other things. So that's cool. It can move. It can do all these things here, and I do have a little bit recorded of like how I did the process. But essentially, essentially what happened was just that I took this mech guy. Where's the mech guy here? Is it in here? There we go. I just took this guy here. And then I slowly but surely just went in here and retopoed some of the harder bits. And then I would say one thing that was really key was actually building out like a skeleton first. So you can kind of see that on this one here. This one kind of has a skeleton like this. Building out like a skeleton like this when you're doing any kind of robot or something is just really, really, really useful, because then you can start plating everything. And by plating, I mean these kind of the wider shell parts on top. And yeah, I recommend that process. It really works. Yeah, so we're gonna continue on this robot basically. Nikolai Buck, well, the rigging looks great. Yeah, I think the rigging turned out to be pretty decent. I think I spent about 10 hours or so, like bringing it from the sculpt to this, and I'm gonna spend a bit more time tonight. But what I want to do is just add some of the more like the smaller details, things here and there. What else have we got here? Well, obviously, Nikolai, welcome to the chat. Have you seen the design of the Transformers from the new One movie? The animated one, I guess. I have looked at the stuff. I think that's a good way to take the Transformers IP, like doing the animated stuff, and then it didn't look like it was going to be like that bad of a movie. But I have no clue. But I guess it's also, I don't know if it's for a younger audience or if it's like a semi-older. I don't know. The spine is cool. Yeah, the spine is kind of also, I mean, very simple. Like a lot of the stuff has just been done for speed. Could have done a lot nicer things if I spent more time, but 10 hours is it's not a lot of time to build an entire robot. I watched your videos. Your dinosaur sculpting video really helped me, especially the rigging part. I just try my own way for texture painting. Okay, cool. I'm glad that it was helpful. Rigging is just one of those tools that, like, and if you've watched my streams before, my content before, it's just a tool that I think, especially in Blender, you can just use for so many things, regardless if you're doing concept art or modeling or whatever. I just think rigging stuff is just a really good tool to have in your tool belt, have in your arsenal to do all kinds of stuff. I'm gonna put on some music, and then we're just gonna start working a little bit. And I have a list here, and I'm just gonna start playing. There we go. And hopefully you should be able to hear that. And if it's too loud, then let me know. Otherwise, we'll just you know, make a little bit of stuff, talk a little bit, do those kind of things. So the plan for this robot, the thing that's actually going to happen is that I want to make a city around this robot. So I want to make a little bit of like a city, like with things, kind of like the stuff we placed it in at the end of the last stream. And then I'm thinking that maybe there is this cool doorway or something, and the robot is lying down inside of that, and these doors can open, and then the robot can kind of, I don't know, like stand out, or it's a mech, so somebody's piloting it, and then it can kind of come out of the thing. So that could be pretty fun to build out as well. Let's see here. There we go. Okay. So what are we gonna do here? What are we gonna do? This music is weird. Let's just skip this one. Don't know what this is, but it's probably good. So that's what we're gonna be doing. And we're gonna... I'm not really a fan of the sculpt vertex paint, but I saw your video of texture painting where you converted textures into vertex color. I tried the whole dynamic paint thing, but it didn't do well. Dynamic paint thing? So I think, you know, the advantage of sculpt vertex paint versus just like normal texture painting is that it's a lot more performant if you have a high resolution mesh. So you need to have quite a high resolution mesh to get some detail, and I think it's a lot more like painting a miniature. And then basically, I guess the workflow is a little bit different now, but you can basically just paint it the way you want to paint it, and then you can just bake those vertex colors onto a normal texture map, and then you can continue to do like a lot of the work in shaders. I find it quite nice. But tonight I'm just open book, so if you guys have any questions about anything, like process-wise, design-wise, life, then you know, I'm here. Let's see. A lot of the process for me, like making stuff, is just doing this constantly. You know, just looking. I think maybe we should start making a little bit of that city around, because I kind of want to figure out the colors of this thing and the details relative to some other stuff. So that's just an important thing. If you're making something for scale, it's really hard to make in a vacuum. You need something to reference it to, just to see what small details you can make that makes that difference of like it feeling big or it feeling, you know. Because right now I think this thing could be any size. It could be 2 meters tall, it could be 10 meters tall, it could be 100 meters tall. There's nothing indicating anything really. So we need to see it in context or something else, and then we can start getting the stuff going. Okay, I think I will want to get some city stuff, so I'm just gonna open an old scene, also the scene I had last time. Yep, that's exactly what I want. And here just have this entire city. And I want to borrow a bunch of this stuff here. So let's just close this scene here, 3D viewport. And I kind of want to just bring the stuff in to my other scene. And I have these things here, which are little city segments. Then I have these things here, which are little balcony. Oh, this is the music that sounds like the music from Rise of the Lich King, the cinematic trailer. Okay, so I have this stuff here. Can I just copy this? Okay, let me take this here and this here just as a starting thing. Let's bring that in. Ooh, yeah, very big. Very big. Oh, this is a question of scale now. If I want to maybe say that how tall is our robot guy actually? He's roughly, oh, he's not very tall. He's quite short actually. So he's 1.4 meters tall. Ish, a little bit more, 1.5. So maybe we make him 150 meters tall. Does that sound cool? How tall is Evangelion? Evangelion height. 80 meters tall. It's also a good height. But 150 meters, that sounds pretty good. Then we can just divide by, then go to scene settings here, units, symmetric, and if I scale the metrics here by 100, then now everything is 100 meters tall. But then I'll take this stuff here, I'll just scale this down. Then we have a little bit of a city. Like this is just my flooring for the city. This is a very simple shader, but it adds a good amount of randomness. You can see it's set up here. Like that's not really doing anything, but you essentially just have this pattern here, and then I'm mixing it with some brick stuff, some satellite data, and that's kind of it basically. I'm currently working on a T-Rex for a game, so if I finish reachability, I'll definitely use the whole. I'm currently working on a T-Rex for a game, so if I finish reachability, I'll definitely use the whole sculpt mode vertex paint thing. This music's so weird. Yeah, that sounds good. Your plan, Animating, sounds sensible. I very like. I think there's just there's just many ways to do it. I think for me, it's always about how fast can I like time to quality. Like that's the parameter, right? Like ultimate quality is just infinite time spent. So like, okay, what's the fastest way I can get to, let's say 80% or 90% quality, and often like that kind of 80% quality you can do a lot with just like procedural stuff and shaders that if you know what you're doing you can just get really far, and it's just immensely much faster than doing any kind of hand painted stuff. So especially for concept artists, getting into shaders is really worth it to figure that stuff out, where if you're making like more of a high quality game asset or something, then taking the time to do some hand painted stuff is worth it. And then you put in the time, because like pushing that extra 10% from 80 to 90, that then suddenly shaders, just doing it procedurally will not really give you what you want, depending on the style, of course. But that's just something to keep in mind. So the reason why I'm doing city shows is because I have a bunch of city assets. That's why. That's why. It would be awesome to do an assembly scene. I just have a bunch of city assets, which means I can actually build something substantial during the stream right now without having to make a bunch of things. That's the whole reason. It's not more clever than that. Metanui. Oh, Metanui from Bionicles. He was 12,000 kilometers tall. Wasn't there a thing about though that? What? Yeah, that's like Metanui is like the robot that is the island they're on or something. So okay, if you guys are really bored, then you should look into like Bionicles lore. It's really whack. It's kind of interesting though. Like it's not good lore, but like why it is the way it is and stuff. And I think there's something about that Bionicles are technically microscopic stuff, and there was supposed to be some kind of like parallel to medicine, antibiotics being shot into the bloodstream, and then there's an evil bacteria or virus or something, and then they're dealing with that. And there's some kind of parallel to that, which yeah, it's kind of interesting. Okay, so I got that there. So then let's see if we can bring in these like this kind of stuff here. Hey Dakota, welcome to the stream. Okay, here we go. This is some big shit. So how do I do this? Scene collection. Buildings there. Okay. So this is my problem right here. I need to get this thing over there. Select objects, and we'll take these and just let's see here. Let's do that. How big are they supposed to be? Let's say something like that. And then we'll take this one. No, actually, we need that's the plan there. Let's adjust the density of this one. See, so like this is a really simple GeoNode setup, and I can get a lot of complexity very fast. So density factor here. This is my that kind of stuff. I just need to apply the rotation scale. So you can see here, I'm starting to spread these things out, and I can just get a lot of this stuff here for free. And all I'm doing is just essentially rotating these things randomly by, I think, 45 degrees, and then you're getting like a little bit of a city. And it, it works, and there's just like little buildings here and there. What's happening with this stuff here? It looks okay. Yep, that's good. Just bringing in things little by little. Want to do some kind of city planning stuff afterwards. Then we have this thing here, and these are the same buildings. City generator, that's nice. Then we have all these unique buildings. Oh, and then we have this one, antennas. This one's a really cool setup. I'm gonna bring this one in here, Control C, bring it in here, and just crash the entire scene or something. Whoa! What the hell is going on here? Okay, that's not what I wanted. because it has all builds, collection stuff, collection balconies. There we go. Okay. There we go. Let's see what we're saying here. Didn't you have a collection to kit bash from? Yeah, but it's not really like a workstation kind of thing. Dakota, oh, are we set up view nodes? Definitely would appreciate a video on that in the future. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we can also do a stream on it or something. Would be great to do a video also, but I'm not super savvy with view nodes, but I'm definitely using it from time to time. Hey man from Tajikistan. I feel like Open is just messing with me now, because just like every single time it's like, hey man from Tajikistan, Central Asia. You know, I want every time you do the fucking stream, you need to just make it more and more specific. Like I really don't get it. I want you to just hammer it home. I think it's because the context here is that like at some point Open wrote, and then he just every single time wrote from Tajikistan, Central Asia. It's just like, yes, where is Tajikistan, Central Asia? And now it's just a thing. Sure, speaking of crashing, saving. Saving. I'm also working on a hybrid dinosaur, which will be an absolute monster and will hopefully end up with a stunning end result. Oh, that's great. Okay, so I'm bringing something in here. Okay. Now we're talking. So this unit setup is really awesome. Again, very simple. You can see here, like not a lot of nodes, but what it does is that essentially it takes a bunch of stuff. So let's call it city here. City or buildings. Let's call it buildings here. Then we say city. It looks at all the stuff inside the group, and then it places like little details. And what's awesome about, I mean, you could also include this into the setup, but I think what's awesome is that here I can just combine some setups, and then I can have some stuff with some trees and some things with some balconies. I just need to scale these things. So let's do 0.1. There we go. Take these guys and scale by 0.1. There we go. And you can see now it's going to start placing these balconies random places around the city here. I just need to increase the density a little bit. So let's go to the density thing here. We have a density. This is the density. There we go. So you can see here we got all these balconies happening around the city here. It's a little bit too much, and then you can decide, you know, how. Once I get my jet ski license next month, I'll be living the dream. What the hell? Oh, jet ski. Oh, nice. That's great. What laptop do you recommend for 3D art and animation? Well, all depends on your budget, but I can definitely recommend any kind of Legion laptop. So Legion is Lenovo's series of laptops. I think price to performance, they just really good. I think they look nice. Legion laptop. And they have a range of different ones. I've recommended to several friends, but I think these laptops, just performance-wise, display quality, keyboard layout, that kind of stuff, it's just you're gonna get typically you're gonna get a good deal, and you can get really different versions with different performances, and depending on your budget, right? But I think overall it's a great laptop, and there's some different. There's like the Legion Pro and then the normal Legion, but I definitely recommend a Legion. Okay, let's see here. I think we go down to 2. Yeah, we got a little bit of balconies there. That's great. And we need to start doing a little bit of city planning here. So the idea is to make this place for our robot to come out of, and I'm kind of, let's just imagine that it's some kind of protector of the city, you know. So this specific city has a protector, let's just not mention Evangelion or anything like that, because it's totally not a rip-off. It's a completely unique concept here that nobody else has thought of ever. I just lost my YouTube here. Gotta find it again. There we go. Let's see here. I know why we should create our own. Wait, I'm just read those links. Open 5 Pro. I like by 5 Pro. Like the Legion one. I know why we should create our own assets and kits, but I'm genuinely curious if anyone actually alarm horns when your piece uses other market kits. If anyone actually alarm horns. Yeah, that's actually a good question. Like, does anyone actually care? So the problem usually comes down to that I think we have design on very different levels, right? So like in the industry or whatever, if you're a concept artist, then typically you're a designer of some kind, right? You could also be an illustrator, but that's a different thing. Like if you're a designer, then your goal is to make and create new ideas. And if you're doing an environment, you know, then the way you're designing an environment is like very different, because typically it just has more stuff in it. If you are, you know, designing New York City, then nobody's gonna care about you using assets. Actually, it would be expected. It'd be like, why did you not just use a kit? Why did you make all the buildings yourself, right? But if you're, let's say, if you're suddenly designing like a space city or like a fantasy city, then it's like, okay, like you might start recognizing some buildings if you're using a kit from, for example, Kit-based 3D or whatever you're using, right? Then maybe you start recognizing some of those things. But I don't think people necessarily care, unless maybe you're dealing with some kind of hero building. If you have like a main building, this is like the central unique building. If that building is just from a kit, that's not really going to work out. And so that's just, you know, like those are the obvious things, right? But then I would say there is a thing about like, if you're designing, for example, designing a mech, I know that, for example, on big, medium, small, then they have this like a mech kit that you can use to build mechs and stuff. I think there, if you're like, oh, I can make mechs, and you made it out of that stuff, and you're like trying to become a, you know, hard surface mech artist or something, or a designer, then I don't think that's gonna get you very far, because I think it'll be like, oh, but this is just kit bash. We need somebody who actually can design something from the ground up, because that's typically the job. But then if you're doing an environment with just a bunch of mechs in it, and the point is to create this big scene, then, you know, use some kits, you know, because you're gonna end up having so much stuff there. So I think it just really depends on what you need to do, and then yes, it can be the kind of thing where somebody will look at your thing and be like, right, this person can't design, they're just using kits, or like, why are you making everything by hand when you could use a kit, right? I think, for example, for the Halo TV show, I think they used some kits from Kit-based 3D specifically to make some of the cities, mostly for some of the like background stuff to fill out the city with just some buildings, and you know, that probably worked out great. But personally, I find that most often the most unique stuff we see is the stuff that is handcrafted, and I think just a little bit of handcraftedness usually brings people in more than just having 1,000 replicated, you know, houses from somewhere else. Like that's just my opinion, you know. Because I think, especially in the day and age of AI and stuff, I think the more we can feel that the artist has sat there and made something and thought things through, and that a human was behind it, and you have a connection to that artist, I think the more that's going to be the thing that has value. So I just think you would want to hang on to that for as long as possible. And those are the skills I would promote to hone, as opposed to like, oh, but I can use all these like tools. Like, yeah, you could, but like for example, this robot, you know, like I made the entire thing, and the texture also is like a texture I made, you know, like I composited the texture in Photoshop, and then I can reuse it and stuff. So that's nice. I tried your visibility method I saw in your dinosaur sculpting tutorial, but there's a few problems with some things, so I'm using Retopperflow for the process. Yeah, I mean, Retopperflow is a really good tool. The reason why I'm using my technique is because I find it to be a lot faster. It's not the best tool for the most accurate results, but I've used it so much now that I just know what it's gonna do. And I find it a lot easier to adjust the resolution of the thing over time. So yeah, let's see here. So what I wanted to do was, I wanted to do let's just see here, because I think it'd be cool if it was like a park. So if we have this thing here, so we have some kind of container here, and now I actually need to readjust this guy here. Do we have it somewhere where he's, oh, he's a ball. Well, he's a ball, look at that, he's a little ball. Kind of funny. Boop. Or even more ball. Boop. It's all crap together. But I actually think I want to have it lying down. Let's see here. Where do we have our guy? It's up here. And I think we'll just go up here. We'll bring that to the left there. And this one to that. And yeah, we just need it to be actually rotated right now. Not that way. Like that. And then he's gonna be right there. And that's gonna be that thing. And then I will need some kind of cube. Did I just delete my cube? I probably did. Then I want to have it lying down here somehow. Like in some kind of thing like this. Then maybe some kind of shape like that. Yeah, that seems kind of fun. Like that. Like that, like that. And then piece selection there. Like that. Then maybe faces, deletes there. Mirror and solidify. Like that maybe. Then maybe that's like there, and then oh, actually I should probably, because I kind of want to animate some stuff. I'm gonna take this guy and go in here. Just bring all this stuff over here. Then this guy gets to be there. So it's just still for the whole thing. Then I can do this, bring the doors open here, and then mirror across there. Like that or something. That's kind of the basic idea that I want to do. And then it'd be cool if this was some kind of park, kind of like we saw over here, where I kind of have this park here. I want to create something similar where it's a park, and then the park, you know, everything moves away, and it's kind of hidden in plain sight. So I also want these shapes to just kind of match those things a little bit. So let's see here, does that cover the thing? Oh, what is that? Oh, these are the balconies. What the? Okay, this needs to go into balconies. Balconies. Why is that a part of that? Huh. Because it's inside of buildings? Ah, okay, that's why. There we go. Go. But these balconies now then microscopic, is that the problem? What? What am I doing wrong here? So we got that stuff, we got these things which are details, let's call them that. Yeah, it's there. Am I scaling it or something stupid? Sorry, this is not super interesting. I'm just looking through my notes here and seeing what the hell I did. That was. That all seems fine. Okay. So these guys are there, and these things are. City and stuff. What? Does it need to have way more density, or what? Am I? What went wrong here? Okay, something went wrong. I'm gonna redo this real quick here. Stuff, cities, what's in here? Okay, delete objects, delete hierarchy, delete hierarchy, delete hierarchy, and this one is fine, delete hierarchy, delete hierarchy, delete hierarchy, and delete hierarchy. Okay, cool. Okay, let's just do the planning first, and then we'll deal with that other stuff afterwards. So yeah, I kind of wanted to get this and this as well, because that's kind of what I want to do my base off of. So we got all this stuff here. This is mighty and green. So we got trees here. So let's just make a new collection called assets. Bring in the trees there. Okay, and then okay, let's see here. 0.1. Yeah, it definitely needs to be smaller. 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, something along those lines, I think. Then this one is way too thick now. See, you know, this is the problem with scaling stuff, is that suddenly everything you made just doesn't work anymore. And I should just keep it the way it was, and then just be okay with it being scaled. That really annoys me. Okay. Yeah, let's see here. What is this thing here? We got plantation there. Got that one. Maybe we should bring this down to this level here and just say 0.2, 0.3. Yeah, that feels right. Then we can do that. Then we have these trees, and we'll just hide those. Cool. And then I'll bring the robot down here, underneath this thing here, like this, like that. Timeline. Okay. Let's just remove that for a second. See how we can, something like that. Let's actually just remove this, just for now. Then we'll say this stuff here, that stuff there. So these are not the same thing right now. So they need to be attached to that thing. Okay. Let's see here. Now we're gonna do this shape, some kind of form that would be fun to make. I'm just concentrating super hard right now. That's why I'm not talking. Very sorry. I'm just gonna look through the stuff here. Oh, Shade and Vast, hello, welcome. Maybe to keep the same vibe but not same function as EVA launch fronts, maybe the mech is just housed in a massive armored building, or maybe just have it stationed in a way like a statue. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna do this thing under the ground here. How long do you think it will take to go from beginner, a 3D artist, to a mid-level 3D artist, from average to a senior level 3D artist if you study on your own? How long it'll take? If you study on your own, depends on how you study on your own, you know. So if you are, I think something you can do that is really good is that you can, if you find a really good course from a professional who works in the industry, even if it's something that you maybe cost $1,000 or something like that, I think that can be really worth it, especially if you're studying on your own, because there's just so much info that is hard to find online, not because it's not there, but when you're a beginner, you just don't know like what is correct and what is wrong, and there's more incorrect information than there's correct information, I think. And you can also try to see if you can find a mentorship or something like that, just somebody who can take you through the process. But I think it's very reasonable to go from a beginner to somebody working in the industry in like a year. You know, that's not unlikely at all. If you know the things you have to do, and if you just practice the things that you want to practice. If it's like, okay, I want to do characters, then probably your tools, maybe you're choosing to use Blender, but also often people using Maya, ZBrush, Substance, and that kind of stuff as well. And then from a mid-level 3D artist, from an average to a senior, to mid-level 3D artist, and from an average to a senior level. You know, I know people who've gone to become seniors in like right after school. You know, that happens if you're good, if you're dedicated, but it can also take, you know, but what's a normal I think like, you know, from beginner to 3D artist, maybe a year, like if it's just that you're dedicated to, and then maybe 2 years to like a average thing, and then maybe 3 years to like a senior. I think that's totally possible. It can also be that it takes 10 years, but I think like 5 years and then become a senior, that's totally feasible and very normal. And they could also be a lot shorter. When I block out a creature, I like to give cubes more subdivisions or more verts and move them around for the best feel and sculpt the muscle definition, and then the rest. Yeah, that makes sense. The next creation of mine will be 8 characters for my game. That's a lot. Dope, remind me of this massive brutalist monument of a massive tomb that placed in the middle of these rising plaza steps. Pretty cool. Might have been a Soviet era structure, not so sure. There's just a lot of cool shit in the Soviet era stuff, like architecturally. Are you going to be a kind of art this year? Yes, I am at kind of art. So if anyone is at kind of art, so kind of art is a art expo, or like a digital art expo. A lot of stuff is like concept art, but this was some other stuff. But an art expo in Copenhagen that's happening on the 25th of October. So if you're there, then I'm there too. I know a lot of people who are going. So, but if you're there, then definitely say hi. I would love that. Let's see here. We can do this, and then we can do. I just want to create some kind of unique-ish thing. Let's just forget about this one for now. We can easily make that one work. Let's do this here. Let's do that there. Let's just remove that one. No Lightbox Expo. Lightbox is like in. Is the Light Expo in Europe? I think it's in the States, right? I've never been to an event like that in the States. You know, because I'm in the industry, but I'm not really in the industry because I mostly just do my own stuff. So it's just I go to kind of art because it's right here and because I know a bunch of people who's going, like, and I had a great time last time. Like mostly because of the people. I'm barely even gonna see any talks. And Ian Hubert is going, and I definitely want to see the Ian Hubert talk. But that's mostly just because of Ian Hubert. And if you're like, using Blender, then you kind of have to pay your respects. You know, it's like, oh, okay, hello. Oh, got some double stuff going on there. I never knew that. Okay. Yeah. We're just kind of creating little things here right now. There we are. There. There's a little plaza there. That's cool. Like that. Oh. Like so. Like that. Then what's cool is that because this one's using the same stuff, I can just go like that. And then it becomes exactly the same. So that's great. Should write. I'm a self-taught user, self-taught Blender user, and I've been working with Blender for maybe 5 years now. And my knowledge is still very basic. I have graphic design background and been working with 3D since '07. Well, that's pretty good. No Lightbot Expo, look, dude. That event stresses me out. So yeah, it's here in California. You're where I want to be, that perfect level. It's yeah, you know, it like working on your own stuff is tough. It really is. If you have the money and if you've already been successful, then it's a lot easier. I kind of just made the decision that making my own stuff was more important than working as a concept artist. And I could have worked for a concept artist for a long time. Like that was totally feasible. It was going really well, but I just didn't like it, and it was going to take my full time to, you know, basically make a good living. Could probably have done, if I kept going that way, then maybe I would have had more time now, but I chose to just be like, you know what, time is more important. So I chose to live minimally and just take jobs that just paid the most. I basically sold out, you know. I just did other jobs that were like paid way better for the time I put in, and then I just had more time to do my own stuff. And I think as an artist, I definitely grew a lot more. Like maybe skill-wise, I would have grown more if I just kept doing concept art. But I like the way I ended up doing it. I think it ended up fitting me really well. Okay, so we got this thing going on here. Shadon asks, have you ever considered making stories from Black Horizon into episodes like Ian Hubert? Yeah, just I've written 6 seasons of a television show for Black Horizon. So yeah, like there's not written, but it's planned out, and I've like written like the first episode or something, and there's like 6. It's like, yeah, there's a massive Black Horizon story that I've been working on for like 3 years. 100%, I've thought about writing a story, and it's like, let's see here. V, there we go. Let's try to get this thing there. And so this could be like a multi-stage thing. That would be kind of cool. Like if this middle section came up and went over the other one, and then everything else also slided further over. So it kind of like went or something like that. Or it went down and under. That would also be kind of crazy. I haven't been in production yet, but just being adjacent and watching and listening to those around me, I quickly learned that I'm living the best era ever to do my own thing, so I refocused. Okay, yeah, it's awesome finding a lot of other artists like you doing their own IP and that stuff so much more stimulating. I mean, I am exactly the same thing, just as an appreciator of you know, other people's work. The people I look at are the people who have personal projects going on. They're not the people who's like, oh, look at the skins I made for Overwatch 2, and yes, that's cool, and yes, it's the art is good, or whatever. Maybe not Overwatch 2, but that's not my thing. It doesn't matter. Like, I think it's just, those are the projects I look out for. It's like artists making their own things, and or people, you know, they don't have to be artists, just like people who are passionate about their own projects and trying to push something into the world. That's the stuff that I look at and aspire to and am interested in, and I hope that's where the future is going to be, and I hope that for multiple reasons, mostly because I'm in the same boat. So I just hope that that's kind of how that's okay, this is gonna be a little bit, how do we want to do this unfolding pattern? Do we just want a whole thing to just slide, or do we want like multiple stages to it? I think I need to think about this a little bit here. So maybe something like that, and then it could split apart here in the middle. That's not terrible. Then we have that thing there, and then maybe that thing there. Oh yeah. I do know some people who are going to Lightbox though. Some previous students of mine are going to Lightbox. Wait, I need need to read some of the stuff here. Open. I've been studying Blender for 3 years now, and I every day created one piece of art. I've already created more than 1,200 pieces of art and posted them on Instagram. And now trying to move towards CGI and VFX. Over these 3 years, I've tried myself in different directions and participated in different projects, games, short films. What advice do you, as a 3D artist, give me to become successful in the field of CGI and VFX? So, are you interested in, so you're writing CGI and VFX, so what kind of VFX do you want to do? Or is it, or what kind of CGI do you want to do? I'm assuming that you're interested in working on like kind of feature films or like VFX for films and series and that kind of stuff. And like stylized or realistic stuff. Shade, I'd love to hear it, man. I enjoy how these world building projects come together. I have ideas for stuff like that on my own, but don't really know how and where to start with writing to create it. I recommend watching my world building series on YouTube. Dakota, hopefully I'll see you there when I eventually launch. Oh, nice. Yeah, when you launch Garden, I guess that's your project. Tim Burnett, do you have plans for another collaborative project? Love the No Command series. Another, I mean, listen, plans, you know, if something like that will happen again, then it'll probably be quite sporadic. No, there's nothing planned right now. I would love to do all kinds of stuff. Like, I had so many ideas, but you know, it's just time and stuff. Dakota, the civic area moving on massive platforms to shift to reveal mech is dope. Adds to the scale of theatrical way. Yes, that's what I think. What am I making? So what am I making? There's a giant mech in here. Whoa. And yeah, basically made this mech during the last stream, and then now I'm creating a city around the mech, and the mech will be revealed underneath this platform underneath the ground. So, psychology. How are we as 3D artists going to compete or stay ahead of the likes of hyperhuman rodent AI model generator? It can always do what takes me a week and 30 seconds, albeit a lot of AI model generate. It can already do what takes me a week in 30 seconds, albeit a low LOD. So yes, I think the stuff we have to be more scared of is not necessarily the stuff that like can make 3D models, but the stuff that can generate videos and images. I think the parameters for creating an image and video, like the way you train it, is much more straightforward. You can feed it video data, and then the output is essentially a 2D image, and then it can be sequential. That I can see being a very solvable problem, and I'm gonna save here for Schultz's sake. For Schultz's sake, you know, that just kind of works. I feel like that's something I could say in 20 years, just be like, and say for Schultz's sake. I'd be like, who the fuck is Schultz? I'm like, oh my god, pay your respects. And yeah, and I think the kind of models like video and image, like those things will be a lot more, they will get better and a lot more comprehensive. But even so, Midjourney came out, I don't know, like a couple of years ago now, right? And it's gotten better and better, but it's still not replacing designers, because what they're good at is like something else. It's good at making a highly polished image really fast, but it's not very good at working with an idea. And that's kind of what you need a designer for. And there's some stuff, there's some legal issues and blah blah blah, but like, okay, who made what? And also the fact that people are just not interested in it. People don't want stuff that's made by AI, so that's a good thing. And also some people don't care, but I think, you know, like bigger media and kind of actual media, not like, you know, thousands and thousands of shitty mobile games, you know, actual projects they will need. You still require like artists to work on them for multiple reasons, just like the dynamics of like how you work. It's not just, you know, oh, we need a 3D model, somebody make a 3D model. There's a whole process. I think the stuff that like makes the stuff that these kind of things that makes 3D models, there's so many other things required for 3D models. Like there's the whole like, depending on what kind of game or film or whatever, the model needs to be able to do something beyond just being static. um, and that's just something that, how the hell are you going to teach an AI to do that right now? Like, it seems way too specific, way too complicated, way too custom made to actually work out. It's like telling an AI to like make an airport, you know, like how do you, like how will you feed it enough data or for it to understand like how to lay out an airport and how to design the airport? It's like the more complicated the process becomes, the less sense it makes to try to train this AI, because it also becomes the job of humans to figure out how do you train and how to categorize these things in such a way that the AI can eventually understand it, and what kind of AI model would be good, blah blah blah. I'm not that afraid of like it competing with 3D artists right now. I think it'll be a while. I think what will happen is that you'll get a lot of AI tools that will assist you in on your daily basis. That'll definitely become a thing. You know, for example, just now, both Unreal and Unity, right, two bigger game engines, they are using AI in lots of ways to try to enhance the tools, and some of the stuff that doesn't look amazing is like things like Unity is using them for generating textures and stuff. You're like, okay, maybe that's useful, you know, you just generate a texture. But then also generating like 2D art assets for like a mobile game, you're like, don't really need that. But then some other things they're doing, which I'm like, that's pretty cool. They're, for example, using the AI to train cloth deformation. So typically with clothing simulation, like that's really heavy, and you cannot really do it in real time at scale. You know, you can do it for a main character, but at scale you cannot. But if you see Unity's latest demo project called Time Ghost, I think, then there, all the cloth, there's a lot of cloth. There's a lot of cloth, and they basically trained a AI model to recreate cloth deformation, and it's way more performant than having a real-time cloth simulation. So, you know, that's going to be a big part of things. We're going to have a lot of things like that. Probably have a lot of simulation stuff that's going to be handled by AIs. Maybe even some shader stuff that's going to be made by AI. I think AI water is not far away from becoming a thing. Those kind of things. We're going to see that a lot. And maybe you're going to see some stuff with like scattering things nicely with AI, like in the environment. That's not unlikely to create that like kind of random organic scattering. Yeah, okay, I really want to continue this thing now, but there's also a lot of okay, I want to do this thing here. Let's try mirroring this thing. There. Just giving these guys like a tiny bit of a lip here, just so there's a little bit of a hint, I guess. There, and then solidify. Those things just give them a little bit of solidification. There we go. Actually, way more. This is a big chunker. And then I guess I would want to animate this somehow. So I would probably want to rig it. And the way to do that would be to create an armature. I think it could be really nice with stuff. Oh, I don't want to do an armature. Why would I not want to do an armature? What the hell is this? Oh, I don't need that. If I move this, then yeah, we're gonna get some variation there. But if I just move it, I can just move this stuff here. Okay. Whoa, what happened there? It's because it's linked. No, 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 no. Whoops. That was really stupid. I just made all the trees real. Oh no. Yeah, that was dumb. Well, then let's read a few things. You know, that's why we need Schultz here for saving, and that's I can see there. I literally use Schultz profile every time I hit Control S. Yeah, I mean his profile is also like an S. You know, it's Control S. I mean, you should just change your profile to Control S. The one single fear I have with AI is it's giving perspective power to people who just don't have high visual IQs. Aside from that, I don't think it's really. Wait, what? We just don't have high visual IQs aside from it's real? Yeah, I'm excited for the next generation for AI assisted tools to hit our programs. The time saving factor is the biggest attraction, as you mentioned, the lower processing power requirements. Yeah, I mean there's some stuff like that will happen. Like regardless if you like that's happening or not, then that'll come. Oh. Okay, fuck it. I made a mistake. Which process are we? Okay. Don't know if everyone can hear me. Just let me know, guys, if you can still, if I'm back. It shows that I have a connection. Just let me know that you can hear. Okay, back. Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, that was not smart. You see, that's why you have to save, you know. And I'm in such a privileged position because I always remember to save. That's why you save, guys. Just. The amount of work that I've lost over the last 10 years of my life, professional life, whatever. So much work. Just gone. Let's try opening mech here. Wow, actually, not bad. That's what we saved. I guess I was talking so much we didn't really manage to do anything. Okay, I'll remove this here for now. That thing there. And then we want to figure out how we deal with this thing here. And I think, honestly, we're just gonna... Why do I have any... I don't hear anything. No audio. No audio. I can't hear anything. Can you guys hear me? You guys can't hear me. Just let me know that you can hear me. I don't have any sound. That's annoying. I don't know if I have any sound. Where can you? There's a weird static sound. Oh no. There, I have a sound now. Okay, maybe the microphone is better now. I'm hoping. Okay, great. There we are. Back to it. Delete, hide. Look at that stuff there. Okay, it needs to cover a bit more here. That's also cool. Okay, then we have that there. I'm doing this in such a weird way. But I think it's a good lesson, you know, even somebody who have used Blender pretty much every day for the past 5 years, and I've used it professionally and stuff. You know, I can still make absolutely terrible decisions. There we are. Cool. All these things here, and they will all get a solidify modifier, I think. This will all be 10 meters thick. And we'll say Control L, copy modifiers. Okay. Flip. There we go. This one really needs to go away. H. Okay, this one's here. There, these ones, let's call them gates. At gates, they will have something like that going on. There, that sounds good. And select hierarchy, so objects there. They will also get a mirror modifier. Control L, copy modifiers, there we go. Then we'll create some kind of animation sequence here. I think that's probably the way to deal with this stuff. Actually, origin geometry. We can do that for all these things. Origin to geometry. But then we're going to take this and make it go across. Modifiers, there we go. And there. Then this is the, okay, so now we have to figure out the sequence. Save. See there? I just saved. Okay. So we're gonna have a sequence here where first maybe this thing goes down. So everything here gets to have a position. And the first thing that happens is that this thing goes down. Yeah, so that one goes boop. So maybe it's there. Then maybe it goes over there. I think maybe this thing is attached to that thing. So that has a transform thing there. Likewise with that thing, that's attached to that thing. And that thing is just its own thing. That thing gets to go there, there, maybe here. This thing gets to go away like that. Okay, that should obviously take way longer, but that's just stuff we'll figure out. So there's something like that. Yeah, that has like a nice overlapping action, so that's something you want. So that thing is going down there, and then here maybe we'll allow this one to start going down. Something similar there. You know, more and more and more, the more I've started like working, the more I'm just doing things by eye instead of doing them by precise measurements, because it's just never mattered, you know. Just like doing stuff by eye, it's like it's gonna be good enough, especially when stuff is in motion. I'm like, okay, fine, like it'll just, you know, it can seem very unsatisfying, but it really works. Okay. And then these guys here, are they underneath this one's? So I think this one also needs to move, maybe over here by something like that. And then this one also gets to go down maybe around the same time as this one here. There, that's good enough. There. We can make all this go a lot slower over time, but right now it's just gonna be like this. That's gonna slide underneath something, hopefully. And then we have this one, which so don't like that the hole becomes kind of, let's just see what we got to deal with here. All right, it's the other way around. That feels awkward. We should take this guy and just flip it 180 here. That feels more appropriate. Like that needs to be for the head, right? Okay, just close enough. Good, 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 good. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of coolish. Let's just see here. What to do? What to do here? Bam, 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 bam. So do we need like those? I think, yeah, I think those ones also need to come down somehow. Doof, doof, doof. Maybe around here. So we got all that stuff happening there. so this whole park needs to like open and slide, but it also means it needs to have somewhere to slide. So maybe they have some kind of plateau around it. So if I could just take all of this stuff here, just duplicate it, combine it to one big thing, remove all the stuff, then take all this stuff here, just say, why does that, oh, that's so annoying. That needs to, how do I turn that off? That's maybe the most annoying thing ever right there. Is that because of the vertex, mesh, merge, okay. There we go. There, then I want to there, there. Vertices, there we got on the edge. Extrude edges. We can do this here. I can have some kind of other park shape or something. Like that. Let's see here. What is people saying? I want to move towards VFX and CGI for films, and in terms of realism, what should I focus on more? Depends on what kind of VFX do you want to do. Do you want to do like simulation? Do you want to do like making characters? Do you want to do like making environments? Do you want to make like particles? Do you want to do grooming? Do you want to do more technical, more artistic? Just really, you will go to the Blender conference. I think it starts. I will not go to the Blender conference. I'm gonna watch it online. Would be fun to go one day, but there. So all this stuff here can become park, and that's the goal of it. There we are. Okay, because then we can do this here. Yeah, then we're having some kind of thing happening. You know? That's not too bad. I do not like that the hole is square when it opens. So we're gonna mess with these things a little bit here. Let's do something like this, like that here. There we go, and something like that, something like that. That's a little bit better. Definitely has something that looks like a multi-layered reveal thing here right now. Cool. And then this thing just needs to kind of match this kind of stuff here. Environment stuff. So it's like making environments for. Could you give an example of like the kind of job you would have liked, like from a film or something, like the kind of environment you would have wanted to make, or something? I guess this one doesn't need to go down, it can just slide. I guess that one technically also doesn't need to go down. It can just slide. I think that's important. Somehow that feels like that was intended. Okay, cool. And then now this one is like very high. I think this one should only be like -3. That'll feel more like there. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's definitely pretty cool. That's gonna come up there like that. There, that's covered there. There, okay, cool. Like that. Open rights. I prefer to create fantastic environments like Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, or post-apocalyptic stuff. Okay, that kind of things there. Oh, some sounds from my Discord here. Just mute that for now. Yeah, if you want to do info, okay, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think just like really core modeling skills. Really cool, like really core modeling skills would be very essential. getting really good with materials, especially if you like modeling and that kind of stuff, then like really getting good with materials, like probably like your substances and your substance designers, those are often quite necessary. Blender can definitely also be used for a lot of environment stuff, but that kind of stuff. Understanding how to, I think you don't have to learn how to composite, but trying to composite like environments into real footage, because that's like such a big part of VFX, is like you make something and then you're combining with actual footage. I think those two things, like seeing what you can do with, like sometimes you can do with 2D and sometimes you can do with 3D to make the shot work, and don't just do a still shot, do some kind of shot that is moving. I think it's not because you have to do that, because like in the VFX department there's like lots of people, some people are handling the tracking, some people are handling compositing, some are doing the modeling. But I think for yourself, just to see what can I integrate into a real thing that makes it look good. Sometimes it's also like you're just modifying a thing that already exists. I really recommend, especially if using Blender, look at what, for example, Ian Hubert is doing. Like he has a lot of tricks for doing these things to make like things that look really high quality. I wouldn't necessarily, I think you should have a more fundamental modeling skill set than Ian Hubert knows how to model and things, but he does a lot of tricks. But you should also just like have really good modeling skills. And then, but then look at how he integrates stuff into the real world, and like makes things feel like they're part of the world. That kind of stuff, and look at good sources for like VFX. So I think, for example, you know, Star Wars is doing VFX in one way, but depending on which Star Wars you're looking at, the VFX is done more or less like realistically or more fantastical. Like for example, in what is it, the newer one, Acolyte, and in Ahsoka, there the VFX is a little bit less believable. Where in something like Mandalorian to some extent, but then especially Andor. In Andor, the compositing and the integration of like the 3D and the VFX is just way more harmonious. So figure out where you are on that spectrum, and then just like practice those things in addition to your environments, because that's where you will really understand what is required to do. So that's what I would focus on. And in those cases, you will have to, if you're doing environments, you're using kits, you're using modeling, you are understanding camera moves, you're understanding space, like how does a character move around in a space, like those kind of things you have to be aware of. So that would be my advice. There, yeah, it opens like that, cool. Okay. So we have these things here now. And the question is, how do we wanna deal with this like stuff on top? Yeah, let's see here. So we have, yeah, that can just look really cool, you know. It can just look really cool. So let's just turn this thing off for now, just so we don't accidentally do something stupid again. And let's just get this thing to stick and figure out if we want this thing to stick like this here. Yeah, that's probably what we want. Oh, but is that what we want? We want this thing to be like this, and then it needs to slide under. That's the whole shtick right now. Like that. Oh, and it has all the trees on it. Like how the hell? Didn't think about that. Like, cause the trees are. Well, I guess there just won't be trees on that part. That sounds. That's kind of the fun of it. So it has the trees. Okay. Something to think about. We'll see what we can do, of course. maybe we'll just make the whole thing go under. So we got that thing. That thing has the ground modifier. Oh. And we got that thing there. And what do we have underneath here? It has the ground modifier, ground material also. So let's just try to do all the stuff here with objects, ground, link materials, cube projection. See, the cool thing with this kind of pattern is that I can just quickly do this kind of stuff, and then I get all kinds of neat little areas. You know, I'm looking at what's happening in the middle there, looking at the big sections here. Nice. I'm getting that there. And I can't figure out if the whole thing should be a park around. Like, if we just don't put trees on this, then it'll be easier to move. Robert Nagy writes, that's pretty cool. Using any specific hardware to move around this fast in Blender. My specs are, let's flash them real quick here. Here you go. Those are my specs. And then I also have a GTX 3060 graphics card, RTX 3060, whatever it's called. So not the most insane specs, to be frank. Halloween 2099, big mechs coming alive from their giant metal coffins. That is 100% what's going on. I just don't feel confident about if it just has grass and then trees. If it doesn't have trees there, that kind of, I guess it defeats the purpose a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe it's not so bad. Maybe that's just how it is. And then out here, that's where we have all the trees. Okay, let's delete this thing for now. And then we'll take these things here. How do we actually deal with this stuff here? I think I also had it to be like generating grass at some point, but I think I stopped doing that. But now I could do that with maybe displacement. Okay, let's see. Let's take this thing here and let's just make it into an actual thing. There we go. Yeah, that's good. Then I'll take this stuff here, delete it. Why is that one included? Okay. noise. And I'll say P selection. Oh. P selection there. And make it a part of it. Okay. And then seems good there. And that also means that we can do that. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. That's exactly what I want. I just need a lot of greenery around here. Alright, so that thing, what do we do here actually? We just make it like this instead and say that we're lazy. I think so. I think we're saying that we're lazy. Like this. And then something like that. Okay. Yeah, see you, Dakota. Thanks for joining. Peace. Peace out. Like that. that could look pretty cool, especially with the city around it. Like, dude. That's gonna reveal the beast beneath. Okay. I really kind of want trees on this thing still, though. Somehow, that'd be cool. But I think we're lacking a little bit, like kind of street lamps and things like this that can exist. Control that. Yeah, will do. Oh my god. Let's see here. Oh, it's almost cooler that it's just completely grass. Yeah, that's true. Like that it looks like a mech ejecting the, or like a jet ejecting the. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully now it should look a little bit more just like a garden, and then kind of getting this mech arriving, mech being unfolded. I think that works pretty well. That works pretty well. Then we can start populating this thing with the other stuff that we actually want to populate it with. So this thing will go into, let's call it park, and then gates go into park as well. This also goes into park. What is this? No clue what it is. Let's delete it. This is the trees. And do we have an asset that was... We don't really need that thing right now. And the trees, they're just gone. Okay, cool. Let's maybe just have one big plane here that we can kind of just put here or something. And then V. Oh, nice. Well, Open, thanks for joining. See you around. Hope you have a good one. Yes, totally. Just make it a no command thing. That's also what Paul would say. Like, just make it a no command thing. Why would you make this mech? It's boring. It's not as cool as no command. It's like, yeah. Ground, there we go. There we are. So that's that part. That's that part. That sounds good. Except for the fact that the robot keeps unfolding itself. You know what? I think I'm just gonna maybe take these things here and just whop. There we go. Then it won't be a problem for a while. Very cool. Wait, what's going on there? So this has just been animated. That's why I felt so weird. What am I doing here? There we go. Then I have to do liquid, what's it called? Water sim. That just sounds like pain. Wait, what did I just break it? What am I doing here? This is not supposed to be the same. What? There we go. There we go. That's where we want it. Okay. Then we have this park thing here, and then I think that what we can do here is just scale this a little bit. Yeah, then we're getting a little bit more that kind of stuff. Nice. Oh. Definitely it still looks like some kind of creature, but that's okay. That's creature's awesome. Now we want to see if we can do that building thing again. That wasn't great before. take Control C, that thing. Then we're saying park here. Then let's make a new collection called city. Then buildings have gone into that thing. I think I'll take that one out. We have this plane now. And that's what that looks like. I think instead we'll take this geometry node setup and say generator. We'll take it and we'll say density 5 or 2.1 actually, and then all the buildings here, select objects, say that there, those buildings. Then we're like, that thing comes out there. Join geometry, maybe? No, actually that's not what I want. Okay. Buildings. Is that what I need? Select objects and control rotation scale. There we go. Way more things. Then I can start doing this kind of stuff here. Whoa, what's going on with these buildings? Is that something I've done to the... I see. There we go. Just more. Outlines of what I would want. Something like that. There we are. There we go. Yeah, sorry, I'm not talking that much. I'm just really focusing. I'm having a good time, just kind of making this thing. And here we have a lot of city stuff. And we're seeing that thing. kind of opening. So that's pretty cool. Let's see if we can introduce a bit more. And maybe they're a bit too small, these ones. I think they could be a little bit bigger. Select objects and yeah, like that. And maybe reduce the density a little bit. Like that, kind of. Yeah, feels a little bit nicer somehow. But then I want some of this stuff to kind of come through also. Okay, so there they're getting pretty close to the thing. Don't know if that's ideal. What did I actually end up doing over here? Let's just see. It'll take a little time to render. It's probably one of those times where you have to press save now. So maybe these shaders, they have to be adjusted a little bit. Damn. UVs. UVs. They look a little bit too different from what I have over here. I guess it's because the scale is just all warped. Maybe it's not too bad. Maybe I'm just Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine. Buildings there. Then I want to see what this looks like with a different color. That's pretty interesting. There, it also feels pretty good. Like that. Okay, and let's see here. Then we can bring in some of these. These roads also a good idea. Let's take some of these buildings here. Let's see what we can bring in. There we are. Let's try and put them over there. Let's just see what we can get here. There. Could be, could be. Yeah, sure, why not? there, just repurposing some good old blocks. That thing there. Are. Just move those things. Oh, they apparently have a mirror thing set across. This is set across this thing. There we go. Okay, and then I think this thing. Those things are there. Those things are there. Okay. Whoa, okay. Okay, let's see here. So roads like this like really help sell the fact that this is a like a city or something like that. It's just important to have kind of infrastructure in your thing, and you want to be typically a bit more neat about it than what I'm being right now, but whatever works, whatever works. You also want to have a little bit of randomness, anything, or asymmetry, just so that it's not completely, yeah, that seems fine, that seems good. Okay. Kind of be nice if there was more levels to the city. This is just for some backdrop stuff. Okay, I'm getting pretty tired now, but we managed to do a fair amount. Managed to do all of this, and I can definitely start seeing some shots, and that's usually the thing for me. When I can see some shots, then it's starting to work out. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty smashed too. I think I'm gonna end the stream here, guys. Thank you all for watching so much. Gonna make sure to save before we quit here. I really got immersed into just working, but I hope you all are well. Wish you all a lovely weekend, and there won't be a stream next week on Thursday because it's my birthday, and I'm not gonna stream on my birthday, but we'll see what we can do in the following weeks. So have a lovely weekend, and see you all real soon.